As we can see, there are a lot of results, descriptive statistics, correlations, and we can see that we have a very high correlation between the previous CGPA and the CGPA. But our interests here are the coefficients. These are the coefficients. We have a constant of minus 0.034, and the number here for the previous CGPA is 0.995. So we are going to use this equation provided by SPSS and plug it into to make our prediction equation calculations. So this is how it can be done. Assuming that y is our dependent CGP, our dependent variable, that is the cumulative grade point average, and the previous CGPA is the independent variable. Of course, let's assign it to x. So the prediction equation is going to be this, that is minus 995x. X is our previous CGPA minus the constant given by SPSS right here. So minus this constant, and this will be multiplied by our previous CGPA. So for example, if we look at the first record or the first data right here, we can see that the previous CGPA of the student is 2.39. So what we need to do is just plug in x, that is the previous CGPA, 2.39, and this is what we are going to get, that is 2.34. Okay, now let's look at the second mission. The second mission is to use these totals to predict the CGPA. So we are going to follow the same procedure of linear regression, but in this case, uh, the independent variable are the courses right here. We want to use the total of these courses here to predict the CGPA. So we just click on OK, and of course we are going to have a lot of other results. We can see some very high correlations here. So, but our interest is the coefficients. Okay, these are the coefficients. The constant is right here. For com 200, this the number that we need to multiply by the total, and for com 201, 202, and so on, these are all the numbers that we need to multiply or plug in into our equation, and this is how we make the calculations. Of course, we did the same assignment. The independent variable is assigned to x and the dependent variable is assigned to y. In this case, the independent variable are the total scores, not the previous CGPA. So we just plug in the constants or the values that were provided by SPSS right here. We can see 0.013, 0.07007, and so on. So we multiply them by the causes here. We multiply them by the causes, and we add or we subtract our constant. So for the first student again, these are the values: 48, 61, 45, 69, 55, 78. So we plug in these totals into the equation, and this is the final result that we get: 2.518. 2.518. Now that we test now that we use the values of provided by SPSS and test plug them into our prediction equation. So the next thing that we are supposed to do is we are supposed to look at the methodology. We are using CRISP methodology, and part of the CRISP methodology require that the data should be clean. The data should be clean. So actually our data is not clean enough, because if we look at it, we can see that we have some missing values. For example, this is a missing value. We can see that all the courses for the second year are not available for the student, but of course the student has a previous CGPA, probably is a dropout. Actually, the whole pattern in this particular database is that if somebody is absent, we can see he is absent in the whole year. That means that he is a drop out, just like this in all the cases. So what we need to do now is to clean the data, remove all the missing values. So in the beginning we have 163 records. After cleaning the data, we are left with 112 records. That means that we have removed 51 missing values. So now we apply the same statistics, that is, use the previous CGPA to predict the CGPA, and also use the total of the courses to predict the CGPA. But this time around we are applying it to our clean data, so that we will not later we will see how the missing values have affect our results. So now trying to do it here, we still go to the linear regression here, and then this time around is we are going to use the independent variable is the previous CGPA, and the dependent variable is the CGPA. Of course, descriptives, we click on continue, click on OK, then we look at the results. Okay, these are the coefficients. Now our constant is no longer a minus, it's a plus, plus 0.108, and the value that we need to multiply by our previous CGPA is 0.973. Now let's plug this into our equation. Actually, this is the one that we are going to use on our final data. We still follow the same pattern of assigning y as the dependent variable and x as independent variable, and the dependent variable is predicted using the constant. For the first student, we still use the 2.39, and we add it, and this is this now we get 2.43 as the predicted CGPA of this particular student. So we also do the same uh, for the total CGPA. uh, this time around, we select this and we turn it back, and this time around we are going to use the courses here to predict, and then click on OK. We can see the coefficients here. This is the constant minus 0.066, and all the other values that we need to multiply by the total of courses. This is it in this particular course. Uh, we plug in and substitute the values, and we get 2.647 as the predicted CGPA of the first student. So now that we have our prediction equation from our clean data, uh, the next task for the future of the work is to come up with a decision tree. But basically, this is like the main concept of the work, and more will be explained in the documentation. I hope this is enough, sir. Thank you.